All right, let's talk about a word we hear all the time, diabetes. But what is actually happening inside our bodies when someone has it? We're going to break it all down in the next 5 minutes and really unlock the science behind this. So yeah, let's dive right in. What is diabetes, really? And why does it feel like it's suddenly this huge global problem? Well, to get a handle on the why, you first have to see just how big this thing is. Okay, just look at this number. 450 million people around the world are living with diabetes right now. I mean, that's just a staggering figure, and it really shows you why this is one of the most critical health topics we're facing today. And if you break that down, think about this. It means about 1 in every 16 people on Earth has this condition. It's a true global epidemic, and you can see why it's become a massive focus for health organizations all over the world. Okay, so to really get what goes wrong with diabetes, we've got to first understand how our bodies are supposed to work when everything's going right. It all boils down to our body's energy system, which is honestly an incredibly cool and efficient process. Let's take a quick look at how it works. It's actually a pretty simple and elegant system. You eat some food, right? Your body digests it and turns it into a simple sugar called glucose. This glucose then gets into your bloodstream, which is great, but there's a catch. It can't get into your cells by itself. It's like the fuel is at the door, but the door is locked. It needs a special key to get in. And that key, the hero of this whole story, is a hormone called insulin. Yep, that key is insulin. And honestly, this is the best way to picture it. Insulin is the key. Your cells are locked houses that need energy. Without that insulin key, the glucose, which is your body's fuel, is just stuck outside, unable to get in and do its job. And our bodies are so incredibly smart about this whole process. Your pancreas has these little sensors that are constantly checking how much sugar is in your blood. You eat a big meal, bam, it sends out a whole bunch of insulin keys. Been a while since you've eaten? It eases up. It's this perfectly tuned balance system when it's working. So what happens when that perfectly balanced system breaks? What happens when the key itself has a problem? Well, that right there is the very heart of what diabetes is. And it turns out there are 2 main ways this key system can malfunction. In type 1 diabetes, the body's factory, the pancreas, just stops making enough of the insulin keys. It's a production problem. But in type 2, the factory is making the keys, but the keys themselves are kind of wonky. They don't fit the locks on the cells properly anymore. That's what scientists call insulin resistance. But here's the crucial part. Whether you don't have enough keys or you have keys that don't work, the end result is exactly the same. The sugar, the glucose, can't get into your cells. So it just gets stuck in your bloodstream, building up to really dangerous levels. And that high level of sugar in the blood is diabetes. Okay, let's tackle a big stereotype right now. You hear it all the time, right? That only people who are overweight get diabetes. It's a really common myth, but is it actually true? Let's see what the facts say. The short answer is a big no. Look, while being overweight is for sure a major risk factor, partly because a constant flood of sugar can just overwhelm the whole system, plenty of thin people get diabetes too. For a lot of them, it has nothing to do with lifestyle and everything to do with things like genetics or family history. So no, it's definitely not just about weight. So why do we care so much about this? Why is it such a big deal? Well, having all that extra sugar floating around in your blood isn't just some minor inconvenience. Over time, it causes some really, really dangerous complications. And yeah, some of them are absolutely life-threatening. I mean, listen to this. This really puts it all into perspective. Worldwide, diabetes is the 3rd leading cause of death. Only heart disease and cancer are bigger killers. It's an incredibly serious condition that doesn't just affect one part of you, it impacts your entire body. So how does it do all this damage? Well, think of that extra sugar in your blood as being kind of toxic, especially to your smallest blood vessels. It's almost like fine grit sandpaper, just slowly scratching and damaging the inside of these tiny pipes. This damages the vessels feeding your nerves, which can lead to that tingling and numbness. It wrecks the super delicate vessels in your eyes, sometimes causing blindness. And, maybe most critically, it damages the arteries that keep your heart supplied with blood. And check this out, this is just wow. This chart shows you exactly how dangerous that is. If you have heart disease, that's already serious. But if you have heart disease and diabetes, your risk of dying from it is 4 times higher. 4 times. It's this devastating multiplier effect that makes it so deadly. Okay, so after all that pretty scary stuff, we have to talk about the most important part of this whole story. What can we do about it? Let's talk prevention and management.
So, the first thing everyone needs to understand is that right now, today, there isn't a cure for diabetes. There's a ton of amazing research happening, but for now, the whole game is about managing the condition effectively every single day.
And the strategies we use tie right back to our key analogy. For type 1, remember, the problem is not enough keys. So the solution is to give the body the keys it needs through insulin injections. For type 2, where the keys are faulty, the main approach is to lower the demand for keys by reducing the amount of sugar coming into the body with diet and exercise. But when you really boil it all down, the single most powerful weapon we have, especially against type 2 diabetes, is just prevention. Simple things, a healthy diet, regular exercise, they are hands down the best way to keep that whole energy system running the way it's supposed to. And that really brings us to the final question, one for all of us. When you think about that key and lock system in your own body, are the choices you make every day helping to keep that lock working smoothly? Or could they maybe be slowly jamming the key and unlocking the door to this really serious disease? It's definitely something to think about.